Greetings again, YouTubers. Now, I've been talking about various different airsoft guns and things and talking about the history of the original gun, and I'm back on the broom handle Mauser today. This is the M712, which has a detachable magazine, but the original, going back to 1896, I think it was. It had a built-in magazine, okay, and when you cocked it, you fed it from the top with a stripper clip and pushed the bullets down into the box. But this thing was years and years ahead of its time. It really was. So why didn't it take off in a big way, bigger than it did? I mean, it was quite big in its day. Everybody had one. Winston Churchill even had one. And it should have set the precedent, really, for pistols into the modern day, and it never did. It never did. I mean, I'm told that they had them up until the 60s in various armies and police forces and the likes, but they never really took off. And I have to ask myself why, because what really happened is Browning brought out his Colt 1911 in 1911, and that gun set the precedence for all pistols really today. All modern automatic pistols have evolved from the 1911 with the top slide design. So why didn't this? What went wrong with the broom handle Mauser? You know, it was very, very quick in its day. You think about it, its rivals were the Colt Peacemaker and the Webley revolver, and the Luger even was in its infancy, but this was way ahead. Absolutely way ahead. And it wasn't until the 1930s when they came up with a fully automatic version of it in 9mm. And that is absolutely superb. Absolutely amazing to shoot. Incredible. Handles really well. Very reliable. It's even ambidextrous. You know, you can shoot it either way, really. Doesn't really matter. You can operate the safety catch. The selector lever to fully auto, I just leave it on full auto and give it very short bursts. So that's not really something you need to operate. But why didn't it catch on big time? And I think the answer is because it's quite a clumsy looking thing, isn't it? It's got the magazine in front of the trigger guard, in front of the pistol grip. It's ambidextrous cocking handle, sights. But if you wanted to carry it, for whatever reason you want to carry it, what are you going to put it in? The original holsters for the broom handle Mauser 1896 version was a shoulder stock. It was a wooden shoulder stock that you opened the end and the gun fitted into the end of the stock, which closed over, and then that in itself went into a belt sort of holster thing. So I mean, it's not the sort of thing it's quite clumsy to carry, and if you wanted to get it out in a hurry, you know, there are lots of other guns that you could get out a lot quicker, put it that way. So when the full auto version comes along, it's even more clumsy. Where are you going to put that? I mean, I suppose you could stick it in your trousers or down your belt. I mean, you could carry it. You could carry it if you really wanted to. But I think the fact that it's a clumsy gun, it's a clumsy looking gun, and you can't really put it anywhere or have a really good sort of holster that you could carry it in, or means of carrying it, I think that probably held it back in a lot of ways. But I'll tell you what was actually really advantageous to it, and that's the configuration design of it. I've seen this configuration design with the modern M16. You know, you've got your magazine right in front of the trigger guard and the trigger, pistol grip, ambidextrous cocking handle. And don't forget, this came out in 1896. And when you look at the M16, which was an iconic Vietnam era, so it was probably designed in the 50s stroke 60s, and they've taken a lot really from this the idea, this sort of configuration. I know it's different caliber, which is why when I saw a modern M16 which was chambered for 9mm, I thought, why? Why? But what a fantastic gun. I mean, that is so far ahead of its time. Or is it that the world's only just catching up with it? I don't know. But what a brilliant gun. Absolutely loving this. This is the airsoft version of it. Obviously, this is a 6mm. And what a fantastic idea. I'm all in favour of ambidextrous guns. I was told when I was in the military that the majority of the world are right-handed. That's why all guns are made for right-handed people. And you look at left-handed people with a bolt-action rifle, shooting them left-handed. I mean, they can do it. There's some very, very good shots out there that are left-handed. But it's an awkward thing, isn't it? Because they're firing it and then they're reaching across. And you think, well, really? I mean, are there so few people in the world who are left-handed that you don't need an ambidextrous gun that will work from both sides, like this one? This is really good. Magazine goes in the bottom, the empty cases fire out the top. I've had 4 children to 2 different women, and 2 of my children are right-handed and the other 2 are left-handed. I myself am right-handed, my wife is left-handed, so I can't. Even my brother, I've got a brother, I'm right-handed, he's left-handed. So that to me suggests it's more like 50-50 of the population. Maybe it's not quite that. I don't have those statistics, but I think because there are so many left-handed people in the world, I think it's very important to have weapons that are ambidextrous that can easily be swapped over. Plus, there's another reason for that, is because even if you are right-handed, you might want to shoot around something to the left, in which case you've got to learn to shoot left-handed. Now, it doesn't matter. If you're one of these people who goes to the range and shoots targets that pop up and pop down or just stay on show, or you're shooting clay pigeons or you're shooting, I don't know, birds, it doesn't matter. A shotgun is left or right-handed. Most of the shotguns that people use for clay pigeon shooting, they're ambidextrous. Doesn't matter which shoulder you put them into, because they're completely the same either way. We look at some of the weapons from the Second World War. I thought the Australian Owen submachine gun was a very weird looking gun, but everybody loved it. Everybody thought it was really good. Well, the Australians who used it said it was very, very good. Sten gun like thing with the magazine on the top, and it dumped the empty cases straight down underneath. So you had to aim down the side. The sights would be off-centered because the magazine was on the top. Same as a Bren gun. I had a Bren gun when I was in the army. The sights were down the side, but they could easily have been down both sides. So you could have used it left or right-handed. That would have been even better. So I think more emphasis needs to be put on making guns ambidextrous. I mean, this was made, like I said, in the late 1800s, and they're just catching up with the idea that that's a good plan. That is a good plan. You see the modern M16, the modern M4, they all got this cocking handle that could be done from either side. See, because when you're in the field, when you are shooting at people, and I know this from paintball, okay, I've never been in a war, but I have been in paintball. I have shot loads of people in paintball, and I've been shot loads of times. And trust me, in paintball, when you get shot, you are out, okay? And I've won in paintball quite a lot, okay? And one of the tricks is to swap hands. So you're shooting around the side of a target, and you don't expose yourself for too long. You've got to be out there, you've got to fire, and you've got to get back in. And then you know that anyone who's seen you is now training their gun on your position right there. And they're waiting for you to pop out again, and then you're going to get a paintball in the head. So you swap hands, and you go to the opposite side of the barrel, pop out, and if they're there where you saw them last time, you can very quickly zero in on them and get a shot off, and hopefully you can take them out before they take you out. So if you're in real combat situations where life and death really matters, because obviously you don't get that situation in paintball, but You will need an ambidextrous weapon that you can use in both hands, and you should train with it in both hands. You should be able to remove that magazine with the other hand. You should be able to cock it with the other hand. You should be able to aim and shoot with the other eye. It's very, very important to train with both, on both sides, and you need a weapon that will do that. And look at this is absolutely fabulous. And as I said earlier, it's just an awkward thing. If you wanted to carry that, imagine you were a policeman and you said, right, I'm going to carry a fully automatic Bolo Mauser. Where are you going to put it? Where on earth are you going to... You can't stick that in your trousers. Not a chance. So, it is important. And I think a lot of the guns today, especially like your Glocks and things like this, you know, they are totally ambidextrous and you can shoot them from both sides. I was incredibly amazed with the Bren gun because the magazine was on the top and it just dropped the empty cases on the floor. Now, if you've been in the army and you know that when they're all lying there on the range and the cases are shooting out the side, which means that every time I fire, I'm hitting the guy to my right. He's getting hit by my hot, burning empty cases while he's trying to shoot targets, and I'm getting hit by empty cases from him on my other side. So, you know, the logic of the magazine on the top and the empty rounds dropping straight out the bottom makes a lot of sense. It really does. Ambidextrous weapons. Yeah. A lot of thought should go into that. It really should.